couple minutes and then all right, we're live. All right, welcome everybody. Welcome to another episode of a Fresh Twist podcast. All right. So Lucky, now you can share. Yeah, because I think we on there now.
So good. What I could say, good evening. Yes.
Oh yeah, good evening.
Evening. That's everything.
It's
Evening.
morning for me right now, but yeah.
So good morning to some. Good evening. Good afternoon. When
Yep.
started. Everything.
Yeah, you're in Trinidad right now, so I think the right thing to say is good night.
Good night.
Right?
Is nighttime or evening? Oh my god. Why
You say
mommy
good night.
just always
I'm in Pennsylvania. I'm in Pennsylvania, the United States, the eastern seaboard.
Okay. And what time is it there?
Same as Trinidad.
Okay, great.
It's just me. It's just me with the time difference.
So yeah.
Big time difference. All right. Good night, Ma. Good night, Miss Allison. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Hope the day was good. Hope the day was really, really good. Miss Allison, it's nice seeing you tonight, huh? Because it wasn't on last week. All right, we have a nice show tonight. You guys know we just chill out for a little while before we start the show. And then, we play the intro and then we begin. Lucky, you ready for tonight?
I am excited and I am ready.
Nice.
Let's find the live to share.
It should be an excited night tonight. All right. Let's get this party started. All right, so we're 2 minutes in. I'll give a couple more minutes and then we shall start. Just one more minute. And we will start. Yeah, I hope a lot of business people come in tonight and, listen and hope they get to learn something and share something. That's the number one thing, always to share. Huh?
I said I hope so too.
I know.
Some persons who are looking out for it, so let's make sure.
Oh, that's nice. All right, let me run this banner here tonight. All right, so let us all begin. You guys know how I start the show. Welcome to another episode of Sincerely Her Story podcast, a fresh twist. You already know the intro is here, and let's go. See you back in a few. right. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back, guys. It's another episode of a Fresh Twist podcast. And we have Lucky with us tonight. We have Lucky, we have John tonight. So tonight's gonna be a good session. Yeah, Lucky, let them know who you are, what you do, everything.
So, hi, I am Lucky Pinder from Trinidad and Tobago.
Welcome.
And I am an entrepreneur. My businesses are Wear Fit Community Women. I'm the co-founder. I also am the owner of Impact Nutrition, and I'm also the co-founder of an NGO called the She Can Movement.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Also do some other freelance stuff.
See, she's a busy woman. Busy woman.
Very busy, very busy.
That's good. It's better to be busy than to not be busy, right? Might be a little tiring, but hey, it's better to be busy. All right. So tonight, guys, we'll be talking about the challenges that women face in business. And we do know there are a lot of challenges that we face. A lot of them that we don't talk about. Some we just chuck under the rug and just be like, okay, I just try my best and do what I have to do. But tonight we will be discussing that. We will be, try to inspire a lot of women which now in our society today, there are more women who are in business and are entrepreneurs than ever before. So it's a good thing. Let us talk about it. Let's try to see how we can help each other, each one help one. And then I always tell you guys that this is an open platform. So please feel free to share how you feel about it, your challenges. You never know who's listening. It might help. All right. So let's get into this. Lucky. And also, guys, don't forget I got my dad with me, John. All right, so let's begin. So, Lucky, how did you start or get involved in all of this business and decide to be an entrepreneur?
I think this was a very interesting journey. When I look back, as the quote says, that, sometimes you can't put the pieces of the puzzle looking forward. You have to put the pieces of the back. So, me looking back, I realized I always had an entrepreneurial spirit where I was looking to sell something or have some sort of exchange or always bargaining with parents, like, well, I'll do this if I can do that, and you can pay me if I do this, and these different things, and finding some way to sell or do extra something, things like doing extra, like tutoring to get extra money, school. So it's like, no, I have no problem. I'll teach a lower form. So you're in secondary school, you'll teach somebody in primary school. You go to tertiary, you'll teach it in secondary. All those things. I remember at a time someone had sale, like a clothes store had sale, and I went and buy a person's clothes. And my friend said, and I was like, guys, I have some clothes, and I sold out it like 200% profit. And I was like, okay, so I'm really, looking back at it, I was always there, but then opportunities started to come to me where persons might say, would you be interested in this? Would you be interested in that? So I started first off in supporting persons nutritionally, persons who, can you hear me better? Persons who were interested in losing weight, and that is, eating properly started, and Impact Nutrition, was born. Then it went on to now they just want to focus on eating and not focus on exercise, and that is where Fit came in. So now, you want to get that balance in eating and also exercising. So I think, yeah, that's basically how I started.
You started in. Okay. That's pretty awesome, man. But it's good that you noticed that spirit from you from early on, and you was able to take that opportunity and not allow it to um pass. You know what I mean? So you was able to take time to develop it. Johnny, you want to say something?
Yeah, I do. I don't want you to feel like you're being double teamed here, you know, like you're on the witness stand. Yeah, I want this to be real friendly for you. But did you start either one or both of these businesses before COVID? And if you did, how did it affect you? And how did you stay in business? And did you notice a downturn, and has it turned up again?
Let's repeat the question again. I didn't hear everything.
Sure. I I don't know if you were in business beginning before COVID or during COVID, if you started it or one of them. I know that both of your businesses, they appear to go hand in hand with each other. But did COVID affect your business? And if it did, uh, how did you stay afloat during the downturn? And has business come back up? And how did you bring it back up?
That is an amazing question. So businesses were both operational before COVID, and now COVID would hit, and business was definitely 100% affected. Um, and I think in terms of surviving, so during that time, I think for me, when COVID initially hit, I was, you know, or being that hopeful optimist. So I'm like, this is gonna last like 3 months, 2 months, 3 months, So we could wait this out, 4 months max, and then it's like, wait, 6 months, like what's going on here? So you know, so I was one of the persons who were like, yeah, no, yeah. I give it 3 months, like. What's a pandemic? We're not gonna go in a pandemic. This is not gonna happen. Like, no. So full denial. And during that time, especially in Trinidad, things were locking down. Like you could not operate. Like in fact, nutrition had a nutritional club, so you cannot consume. You can't go to restaurants. It's classed a restaurant. Um, so there was during that, I guess, 2 year period where either or both businesses was non-functional, at least for some period of time. And I think what would have made it survive or thrive is pivoting. So during that time, I took the opportunity to do online courses and business courses and different things talking about the same topic, surviving the pandemic. And being real, for some you may be able to get back on the horse and ride, and some you may need to totally pivot. So, for example, where fit physical, fully physical before the pandemic, and now classes are majority of classes are online now. And to be honest, I just love the online medium that I haven't even gone back out physical with classes. So as we speak here, yoga classes going on online. Um,
Wow.
and
Did having your class online change the business dynamic for you? Did it make it
definitely,
easier or harder?
I would like to say easier.
Mm.
Um, no, let me don't use them. Don't make that say that word easier. It is different. It is different. So that means now my niche, my demographic would have changed because now when you are physical, you're in a location. So if I'm in Yarrow, that is my market. If I'm in Arima, that is my market. I can't expect to have a workout in Arima and marketing to people in Pinal or people in Point Fortin because it's just not feasible. We have to do with location. However, now that I'm online, I have clients in Cuba and Yarrow and all over. Even you, Jessica, you'll be joining in a class. Don't worry, you'll be joining.
I will. Send me the link. I will.
Right, exactly. So now it's now my market is much larger, which is good.
Mhm.
And now I can choose, okay, to target, maybe working women, young
Mhm.
women, older, different demographics. I could choose now
Yeah.
when you're online rather than when you choose a location, you now have to move to the beat of that community, basically.
Yeah. So
You
it's
know?
basically help you pivot your business in a sense because now you get to expand with
Yes. So it
having
was
it
a pivot.
online.
Yeah. So I think being open-minded
Hmm.
um, was important to realize that okay, maybe physical is not it, and you really have to because you have attachment. And I remember doing physical for the time, and I was very skeptical about it. So when persons tell me, I don't think online is me, I understand why they would be skeptical because I was skeptical as a coach. Like, how could I really execute and give value when I cannot physically see a client? And can
Hmm.
I tell you, it is
When you
literally like the
when
same
you
thing.
change when you changed your business model and you did more classes and I'm guessing that you didn't know how to have a business online, that type of business, and that you may have needed to be trained a little or get some education on that, or even if you did know, perhaps to expand that part of the education as well. Is there any in Trinidad for all the people that are listening that may have had the same problem or still have the same problems that you encountered? Is there any government assistance in that type of education and training for computer skills and for other courses as well for small businesses?
I am so glad you would have asked because definitely, definitely um, there is support. So for me, during the pandemic, I would have got support from and that is Youth Business Trinidad and Tobago. And I did during the pandemic, I did two business courses in terms of innovation and really going with you step by step how to take your business from even from an idea actually. So even if you didn't even have a business, take an idea and bring it into some level of completion or monetize it. So I got the support there definitely,
Hmm.
definitely 100%. I think and it's not only in terms of business, but it would have taught you how to be resilient during the pandemic. So, in terms of mindset, practicing mindfulness, understanding that, pivoting is part of your entrepreneurial journey and it's not a failure.
Mm.
Having an idea, maybe I was selling something and now I have to not do that or go into something else, you would not have failed. This is
Yeah.
part of the journey, pivot and go ahead. So, YBTT really does give that support and, you need financial support if you need in terms of mentorship. So you actually have a mentor, somebody to walk you through one step at a time.
Wow. What's the name of that program?
What's the name of?
The YB.
So YBTT. So that stands for Youth Business Trinidad and Tobago.
Okay. And is it difficult as a woman using YBTT? Was it difficult for you to attain financial assistance and mentorship?
Actually, no, it
It
wasn't.
wasn't?
It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't. I honestly would think they are, or feel, or know per se that they're very. I don't feel any sort of nepotism or anything in terms of gender. Being a
Yeah.
female or a male.
Mm.
I don't get that in terms of with my peers.
Wow, that's excellent because sometimes in Trinidad, the way how transactions do happen in Trinidad, you tend to find that things, especially when it comes to financial assistance for businesses or personal, it's a very a nice word to put trying situation. So that's why I asked. So for future people who do want to get assistance with their business and stuff, it shouldn't be that difficult. So they should go into that with the mindset that is not something that will be a difficult process.
Definitely.
Yeah. Nice,
When you
nice.
started, when you started the business, did you have someone to mentor you in the beginning, or was this all something that you were able to just kind of piece together yourself?
So for Impact Nutrition, that business, I would have had mentors then. But I think I started to wing it because it really did start from me saying, telling some neighbors, let's go and work out, let's be consistent. These days, let's meet on the court and start. And that turned into more persons showing up. That turned into persons saying, "Well, like you're really good at this." I'm like, okay, I'm good at this. That turned into getting certified, and everything just started to roll into it.
Hmm.
So I think then I kind of saw it as a hobby in the beginning, so I didn't take it that serious to say, well, let me get a mentor, because when something is a hobby, you don't really, you know,
Yep.
get,
What made you switch over to make it full time? And were you afraid to do it?
yes. I think being passionate about it, being really
Mm.
passionate, but getting persons results. And I think sometimes you might think, well, maybe losing weight or getting healthy it's just that. But impacts someone full being. It impacts your mental health. It impacts how persons, their self-esteem. It impacts how they interact with their spouse, their children, their
Yep.
because it just does wonders. Somebody being healthy in a holistic way, really, really passionate about holistic health and not just losing weight and looking a particular way, or not
Yeah.
just something just for doing its sake, but really that wholeness. What are you thinking? Because I think of your diet as not just what you eat, but what are you listening to? Who are you around? What kind of conversations you're having?
You have it. Wow. That's awesome, Lucky. That's an awesome way to look at fitness as well, because you're not just leave it on the physical. You allow people to transform mentally and go through that journey of changing their life inside out. And that's an amazing process that you do. I do have to say congratulations to you on that. I
Thank
really
you.
do. But I want to know, what is one of your biggest challenge that you had to face being a woman in that industry?
I think one of my biggest challenges was, I want to say, getting out of my head or getting out of my way,
Mm.
but at the same time, it's understanding who I am. So it really comes back to me getting out of myself and out of my way. But that insecurity stemmed from, the obvious. So you're in fitness. I find myself always in fields, like from engineering to fitness, where it's male dominated.
Hmm.
So male dominated space, see how men operate. And in terms of fitness, you see someone they're doing about 200 push-ups with a drum on top of the back, and just fly up on the roof, and then they come back down and they land in a plank, and they're doing real ninja thing, real ninja thing.
I can
Okay,
do 12. I can do 12 push-ups. I'm proud of that.
and now I'm like, okay, so you feel that sense of insecurity there, and now in the industry also sometimes I've had cases where men want to size you up. So, they're like, come on, join my fit camp, come on, go work out, You're telling person, what you doing is, them play. Come for the real deal. So now it's like, but my clients get results, so it can't be that we just, you know, scratch
Mm.
they come. But you still have that sense of insecurity because somebody is now sizing you up because you're not lifting up 5 tires on your back and running. You know, feeling like I do something wrong. But so I think because of these situations, you know, develop sort of insecurity where you feel not enough or inadequate. You know, as a coach,
Mhm.
I really do this? Could I? And now I have to come out of my head and realize, listen, you are lucky,
Mhm.
are unique. This is what you offer, and what you offer, what I bring to my clients, what I bring to the community, what I bring to this.
Yeah.
And
What
maybe no one else will be able to bring it like this because I am lucky.
Yep.
And once my clients are happy, once persons are
Mhm.
getting results, I think that is most important,
Yeah.
rather than anything else. So once I understand that it's not for me, it's not a competition. I always tell persons when it comes to fitness, there isn't enough because each year obesity rate is going up. So what
Mhm.
we're really doing, right? So it seems like a crowded industry, but then obesity goes up. Each year is the all-time highest. Each year is the all-time highest. Every year is the all-time highest for the last 20 years.
But I could definitely relate with the being in your head and having that insecurity because even with being on this podcast and creating this podcast and creating Sincerely His Story, a lot of times I have found myself just being in my head and being like, you know what, no, 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 I can't do this, I can't do that. And you get intimidated and you get scared. And then you have also another challenge, which would be the fear of failure. At any point in time, did you experience that fear going into the business?
Yes. So I think fear of failure is one of the most common fears. And I think that's the center of so many different things because we don't want to fail. And I think that's because we would have been conditioned as to what fear is in a negative way and not necessarily in a, I don't want to say positive, but in a neutral sense as to how fear could be a positive thing. And so, yes, I would have had that fear of feeling, fear of looking, embarrassing myself. And I think it comes when I have to come out of my comfort zone. So when I'm in my comfort zone, I could say, well, I'm not afraid of anything. I'm in front of my client. So I am putting on a show. I am having something. I'm really confident. Now, when someone invites me to something or I have to showcase, now is where you have that fear of, gosh, if but I don't want time and I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. And I start to realize that if you're really in your head, because yes, there may be a small percentage of persons who might watch you and be like, what's going on? Or why should you do this? Reality is the majority of people really don't do it. They really
when
don't.
True.
you when you started the business and as you continue the business, have you had naysayers? Have you had people who are telling you that it can't be done, you're not going to do well, just giving you a lot of negative energy? And if you have you found that especially true for men who, as you said before, men have this macho thing where we have to do things better than women because we're men. They're not as good as us, that type of nonsense. And because that men sometimes are naysayers. There are a lot of supportive men also, but there are a lot of naysayers, male naysayers, because they they can't fathom how a woman can be successful at business.
Mhm.
So, and they're not. Have you encountered anything like that?
Um, I, I would say yes to an extent, meaning that my circle, if it's one thing, I say is that, when I count my blessings, I count my circle twice.
Mm.
And I'll just give this tip one time, especially persons who are in entrepreneurship. Get the right people around you. They can make or break you. And if it's one thing, my circle, my friends, I tell them, I'll do my best never to sell drugs because I know they'll support me and I don't want to get them. So, selling water. Yeah, Lucky, give me 2 bottles of water. I will take 5. All right, yeah. I tell persons that's how I know my friends. They support me in whatever. You can do this. Yeah, man, Lucky, yeah. However, there were persons, to answer John's question, who been very negative, like, what she's doing, she wouldn't last. And, they kind of look down on you like, there's just a face. She just going through a little face for Instagram, some pictures. And then next 3 months, that's it.
Mhm.
So I would have had not persons come to my face to tell me that. I don't think persons are brave enough. But you would have had little chatter in other circles where you might hear something like that.
Mm.
So yes, I would have experienced it. But to be honest, when you reach that place where you're fully out of your head, then if I'm not in my head, then definitely no one is in my head. So I'm not going to really be, worked up with what others have to say.
I know what to say. True. It's a good way to look at it. We have one comment here. Sometimes starting a business brings lots of struggles to get off the ground. What advice would you give a new entrepreneur who has these struggles and want to quit?
I would firstly tell them, do not quit. If you have a desire, do not quit on your overall plan to be an entrepreneur.
Mhm.
So that's one. You may need to pivot your idea or change your idea, this model, your niche. You may need to do a lot of things, and what your initial idea would be and what you eventually start with might be totally opposite of something.
Mhm.
Don't give up on you wanting to, really be an entrepreneur. If you have that passion. So
Mhm.
that is one. In terms of your starting, get support, get a mentor to research. I think that is something that JC, I don't know the culture there, that culture. We don't really do that much research. We really don't. I am guilty of that. Sometimes I want to do something and I'm like, yeah, doing it. Did I research? Did I find out if JC things? Who am I going to market this to? Because it sounds good in my head once again. It sounds real good, like, whoa, that's a good idea. I see myself, we're relaxing for this idea. I feel right. I told everybody, and then it turned out just my 10 friends buy or support. And
Yep.
so really, really do your research, get a mentor, do these things that sometimes we do years into your business. Do
Mhm.
it, and it's gonna save you some time. So that is, some of my advice. You get someone who is a mentor, could be someone who is in the line of business that you want to get into, or
Mhm.
have a business. And once again, it could tap into YBTT, where they have the mentorship program, so they actually have person mentoring you
Yeah.
and get as much information and really start. Just start.
Yeah, that does be the hardest part. As I always say, the hardest part is just starting. After that, everything flows into place. But then you do have to keep in mind that there are other things that come with having a business. Like you have to be able to sit down and spend time planning. You have to be able to say, well, you have to be honest with yourself, which is a big thing. Because I think, and yesterday I was talking about that, with myself. I was like, it's so easy that we lie to ourselves so easily. Like something happened, we'll be like, oh no, that didn't happen. Just God giving my message, or this just happened because I we redirect it onto something else, and really and truly we don't stop and say, well, no, that was my fault. I made a mistake. I didn't plan properly, or I didn't, do correct research, or I didn't give my all in it. So I need to do better.
Yes, yes, yes. I felt like you're talking to me, and I'm going to be like, Why are you doing that? Yes, can I tell you? Listen, listen. So for me, I think that's my opening line. Most people don't have that buffer. What is the arm? And it's for me, for me, honestly, how you do anything, everything. That is something that I try best to live by. So because of that, I focus on working on myself and me getting better as lucky as a human being, as a sister, as a friend, as an aunt, as a whatever it is. Me getting a person trickles in all aspects of my life. So I'm saying this that when I'm working on myself on that journey, now I have to look myself in the mirror and be like, yeah, this is your issues. These are your problems. These are your insecurities. These are your traumas. These are things you're not letting go. These are things you're not forgiving. And 9 out of 10, it reflects also in my business style. So when I grow as a person, everything else grows. Because if I have trust issues as lucky, show up now with me, maybe being uneasy. I'm on this live and my coach doing something like, what you doing? What you doing? Trust. If I have anger issues or I cannot communicate with you, I'm going to show up in business also, where I'm not communicating properly. I'm getting in conflict. If I'm always in conflict and drama with somebody, I never do nothing. I don't know what happened. You never do nothing, but you never do nothing,
Hands always clean. Was he saying we have back home pelting stones but hiding your hand? You never do nothing.
Never do nothing but you in drama. Then you're gonna find yourself now, your business, some kind of conflict, some kind of something. Now these things do happen.
Yeah.
But now is where you have to be truthful to yourself. And as I said, that truth. So when I'm truthful with myself, just plain old lucky, as I said, goes up. So now I'm like, okay, this is why. So when I see things in the business, I already know where it comes from. I already had one-on-one and you gotta get it together. You know what you know what your best, when you're being insecure, when you're being mediocre.
Yeah.
You really have to
be honest with yourself.
Be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
They say, well, the truth will set you free, but first it's gonna hurt. It's gonna
Listen, it will cut deep.
Lucky, when you have a new client customer and they have preconceived ideas of something, and this could be not just for your business but for any business, when they have preconceived ideas about something, with you for instance, let's say someone has preconceived ideas about nutrition, and just through your education, they're wrong. How do you go about letting someone know that they're wrong and really re-educating them?
Right. So I think for me, my approach is not to tell someone they're wrong. And once again, when I deal with persons or clients, I do my best to have persons to do 3 things. So when I sit down the night and I say, okay, Lucky, did you leave, John comes to you. Did you leave after that conversation? Did you leave John feeling good about himself, good about you, and good about your business? And usually, those 3 things, I take the ego out of it. Because too many times, John might come and say something that is very wrong. You may have a very, as I said, a very bad truth you may be believing in. It's not my ego will have me wanting to tell you where you get that from. That's craziness. No, this is the right thing. This is what you have to do. But would John feel good about that? That you have this young lady same age with your daughter telling you you're wrong to doing something that you would have done for X amount of years. That is not benefiting nobody because now you are leaving. Like, I may have an attitude, so now you're defensive. So you're gonna be not feeling good about me, not feeling good about yourself, and you're definitely not gonna be feeling good about my business. So even when you find out the truth that you were actually wrong, you're still not gonna come back to me. So nobody wins. I lose.
Sure.
So my ego wanted to put you in your place, I think, but it did not serve anything else. So that approach I do not use. So someone, instead the approach I use is that everybody is on their own journey. And everybody is at a different place in their journey.
Mhm.
So at one point in time, things that I don't do now, I used to do. And you want to have grace with someone, you want to have patience and have that level of understanding that's okay. Some clients come and they say, I do not drink water at all. And we all know that's not a good thing. But I'm not going to have a lecture. You're not drinking water. Well, you're mad. You know what will happen. Then, okay, you're not drinking water. How about we start with 1 cup for the day? You think you could do that? Yes or no? Make them feel comfortable. Could you drink 1 cup of water for the whole day? Yeah, great. And then we start to go from there. So my job is to meet persons wherever they are at
They are. Mm.
and walk with them, not drag them, not pull them, not beat them over the head. Walk with them. So
Yeah.
some clients will come and they understand, and by month drinking 2 liters of water for the day. And some clients 6 months down the road and they're still struggling to drink 1 cup of water.
Yeah.
So that's where you are at, and I'm walking with you. And if we have to stop times, well, we stop. But it's not to make you feel badly about yourself,
Yourself.
badly about me, and badly about the business.
Business. So would you say being in business, because I think and maybe you could help define it your way, patience and
And
customer service. For you, do you think it comes hand in hand, or you had to learn patience first and then learn customer service? Or was it customer service and then patience?
I think customer service came first. Because
Mm.
when you have to have that principle of making someone feel good about yourself, about them and your business, I think that's customer service here.
Mhm.
Where quarreling or making a customer feel bad. And that might sound simple, but it's not. Because some people come, they really come. I don't know who to tell them, but they just come. Or you have clients who feel, well, I look the fool, so they come and they tell you something. You're like, okay, no problem. And I'm trying not to be sarcastic or trying to make them realize that no. And I
Yeah.
can see you. So you have to kind of keep it calm. Getting there with customer service was important. And then patience have to come. Then
So
Okay.
you have to, for all business, I guess, your business, you really have to remember what your end goal is, which is to grow your business and make more money. And that does require putting your ego off to the side sometimes and remembering what your long-term goal is. And yeah, sure, someone might feel better by showing off how much they know and how dumb someone else is, even though that's not their intent. That's the way someone might take it. So you try and figure out a way not to necessarily show them the right way, at least not right away. I mean, they don't know you. Why should they
Yeah.
trust you? What you're trying to do is develop a business relationship with them, so that a little bit further down the road, things that you say may be a little bit more palatable for them.
Yeah. Somebody just said something here. They said, you have to be consistent in providing excellent service to be successful. Now, he said one word, and that's consistent.
yeah.
Moments, because this is a challenge, especially being in business, especially when you have your own business. Now you have more on your plate because it's not like a job where you just go to work and you come home and you deal with home. It's like now you have to plan, design, your brain constantly on the go.
Yes.
And moments when you don't feel like it, how do you allow yourself to be consistent?
Listen, see that word, thank you, Aloy. Woo! Consistency. Honestly, I think prior, earlier in business, this is I'm gonna say this, and this is not where you all should be, but the word bad mind
Oh.
have to be bad mind. So at some point in time where you want to stop or you want to give up, it was bad me. To say nah, you set that goal, you go in and finish just lucky. And in that bad mind state, unfortunately, because as they say, I came here to talk the truth. Entrepreneurship, we have different journeys. So when you're doing something out of bad mind, yes, it could be bad mind for you, but sometimes it's for somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Like these people want to see they want to see me stop this class. Even if it's me alone in this class, I run in this class. I show enough for myself this class going on. And trust and believe it had classes where the one person I saying we jamming still, there we go. Or whatever it is, I had to be consistent. But now it evolved and it's not about bad mind again. It's about, as Aloy said, really being dedicated to do your best.
Mm-hmm.
Show up and doing your best in everything because how you do anything is how you do everything. So if
True.
I'm doing something halfway in business, then eventually I'm gonna be halfway in my whole life. So if I could show up powerful for this, then show up powerful for everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really managing little so that you can expand.
Yeah.
If you don't know how to budget with $1, then you won't do it with 100. And
That
it's 1,000. And when you get a million, it might sound like plenty, and we all know how many millionaires down to dollionaires.
Yep. I definitely agree.
Lucky, how do you advertise and how do you expand? How do you determine when you can advertise more or when you need to advertise more or less?
Honestly, John, that's a good question. I think honestly, I need to work on more advertising,
Mm-hmm.
and so I need to up my game in terms of advertising, and then keep it consistent.
That's a hard thing to do, That's a really, really hard thing to do.
Of course.
My challenges, to be honest.
How do you, because I don't know if you're like really social media savvy where you have to be able to create content and, do all these different types of stuff. And then you already have your personal life going on, plus your work life going on. So it's like trying to find that balance between all those things to stay in and market. How do you do that?
Listen, woo, that is a lot. I know John had asked, so social media is one of my platforms. You use your Facebook and your Instagram, you use WhatsApp Medium. Referrals is something for me. It seems old school, but it works.
Mm-hmm.
I and I guess my ego is rubbed a little when I
Mm-hmm.
do referrals because then that shows I'm doing something good. Because if JC, you're working out with me and you refer John, that means he's a loved one, you care about him, and you are confident bring value to him. You won't
Yeah.
refer for him to come and say, well, I will waste my money. I'll waste it. You know, you wouldn't refer him if you felt like so. So yeah, I think planning, really, really, really planning is
Mm-hmm.
important. And that is something that you cannot plan. Like right now, I am already planning to plan 2023. We're in October. So
Yeah.
I am already, so my goal is like when November finish, I already know what is going to take place November 23, what taking place
Wow.
August 2023. And, really putting any work in terms of planning ahead.
Like
And
the
then,
guy, like Aloy said, be consistent.
yes,
Yeah, you really, really have to
yes,
just be
you really have to do
consistent.
that. And then, then after you do that, that year plan, break down into quarterly, then monthly, and then now, this is where the hard part is. Daily, daily, daily. Plan your day. When that 1 hour something go off or some emergency or something, how your day does go. 24,
Mm-hmm.
24 hours, just turn into 4 hours. And it's like, what?
Yep, that is
So
true.
Do you need
for me, the daily is where I need to focus on. So it's good to do the year and the monthly. And oh, I know I'm going to do this and that. And then when it comes to day,
It is saying witchcraft.
voodoo, 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 voodoo.
at what point do you feel that as a new business owner you need to get an accountant or a lawyer or or do you need to get one at all?
Honestly, I think depending on the type of business or your vision for your business, it's important where you see your business in the next 5 years or 10 years. So
Mhm.
you have your short term, medium, long term, and that will determine how fast you get certain things. You get help. So there's some persons who really and truly, I've heard persons say, they don't want to work with anybody. They just want to be a self-employed person. So they don't want a team. They are no I in team because it's just I. And they want to work for themselves. Someone like working for themselves at their own pace or whatever, you can wait it out because you're just working, your long term and your medium term goals relatively look the same because it's
Mhm.
just managing. And because you only have 24 hours, your business could grow only so much to an extent. So to me, someone who has that type of vision, which nothing is wrong, then you could wait out a little bit before you engage other persons dependent. Someone who has a different vision, you know, might need it from the get-go or at the end of that year or the quarter to put things in place
Marketplace. Yeah.
is to not be afraid. I think as entrepreneurs, we like to do everything ourselves. That is not like delegate. Delegate, invest in other persons. Sometimes it's easier said than done because
Mhm.
now you may have another challenge in terms of finance. So, I want to tell you something to me and we're going to pay you to it.
Yeah.
Not good. And, depending on what kind of business model your business is selling, I don't know, selling tulum. How much tulum do you go eat? How much tulum I will give you for your service? How much pastries I will give you? You need some monetary, so it might be that. But really, don't try to be the do-it-all army. And I have been there where you want to do it all, you are going to burn out. Really form teams, collab, network, especially post-pandemic.
Mm.
Really, network and collab. It is important. Sometimes, you feel like nobody will be as passionate about you for your business, but it's worth it. Step up,
Yeah.
you know, get the accountant, do your accounts, pay tax, all those things.
Pay tax. Because I was going to say something, but I can't say it live on here. Because sometimes they just skim. Yeah, they skim big time. That's awesome, man. I must admit that I am one who now have to learn to be able to create my group, like build my group now because it's like I was a do it all, but then you get tired, you get exhausted. And like John used to tell me, he's like, yeah, you could try to do everything, but when you're doing everything, it's not going to be good. And then when you're not good for anybody else. So that's something that you definitely have to keep in mind when it comes to being an entrepreneur. Yes, you might want to do everything yourself, but when you're doing it yourself, you're not good to nobody else. And then you don't know, like sometimes like little parts might be missing. like because you're so focused on one aspect of it, you kind of like let the other aspect of the business kind of fade and die, and you have a lopsided situation. Have you ever been in that before?
Yes. I think when I have, like, you want to do everything yourself, kind of, and I look at it like, maybe that's the wrong analogy. I want to breeding. I think about animals. I use animals like in breeding, where because it's only you, and I had this conversation with someone recently. I am in my own box. So yes,
Mm-hmm.
I have my goals, but I'm only seeing things through my lens.
Mm-hmm.
And this could be a little, you know, because all I'm seeing is what I'm doing and this. And then when I bring in someone, they're like, but Lucky, why didn't do this? Why didn't do that? And then all of a sudden, like, oh, so you're kind of in where you kind of not getting the best, you're not maximizing. So even today, I called someone um has a book club, and part of that. And I was telling her, I wanted to be on the team, and I was explaining some of the stuff, and I was talking about the structure. And this is just casual conversation. And she's like, but Lucky, how about do this instead of that? And I was like,
Mm.
this is making so much sense. I haven't even had a meeting with you and you making sense. Because,
Give you a different perspective.
right. So when you have that team and you go out now, you're getting more ideas, you're getting
Mm-hmm.
things stronger, you're building, like you literally, I only have one brain.
True.
And when you have five other brains, I only have 24
Work
hours. When you have five
together.
other 24 hours together, you really, really, really start a multi
Mm-hmm.
that compound effect when you engage with others. That, taken me. So me now, me coming to the idea that my friend gave, I might have took maybe the next year before I realized, oh, this is not really working. Let me try this. Whereas
Yeah,
similar conversation, I'll be already going there. And who knows, we have another meeting and we have an idea. So, but yeah,
Same
definitely.
subject. Same subject as you were talking about earlier. Put your ego on the side. It may be your business. You may think you know everything, but be open to other people's advice
Mm-hmm.
and make it your own if you think it's good.
Yeah.
yes,
Give other people credit when it's due, but
Mm-hmm.
make the
definitely,
idea your own. Own it.
Yeah,
definitely.
I
I
definitely
wanted
agree.
to ask you before, I know we're getting close to the end, aren't we, JC?
Yeah, we are very.
So I wanted to ask you, what advice can you give to other women who want to start a business of their own? Maybe one, two, three things. What advice can you give other women?
Right. So my advice to other women would be to go for it. Go for it first of all, and then we retract from go for it. So you're going for it. First of all, go for it, ladies. Ladies, go for it. You have nothing to lose. If you are passionate about something, go for it. However, in going for it, have a system. Understand upfront what are some of the challenges. I think sometimes uh good have said naive, meaning that know who you are and what situation you're in. Are you a wife? Are you a mother? Are you a single mother? Are you do you have a lot of commitments? Are you working while you're going to start your business? Are you going to do this full time of your business? Where you getting? So all these things, especially as a woman, need to straighten out before. Because I think sometimes, I don't really like to go into the gender too much, but the reality men start a business and run a business, whether they're married, single, have children, whatever, they show up for
Mm-hmm.
the business consistently because their responsibilities are different.
Mm-hmm.
As a husband, you can say, honey, you see about the children, and you go out to, as a single person, they're doing the same thing. As whatever, as a woman, now you are a wife, you have certain responsibilities. Now you are a mother, you know. Whatever is your commitment, be real with it, and now plan your business around that and go for it. Because I think too many women start, they're ambitious, they didn't put all those logistics in, and then they start to be not consistent, they start to fail, and then they give up. The first incident, they have a sick child home, and that's it, the business crumbled. They have a relocation, they had something, and that's it. Things change, and that's it. Plan. You want to get pregnant? Are you looking to get married? All these things, put that into your business and go for it. So be mindful. If I'm going to be pregnant, chances are 9 months, I'll have to take it a little easier. Not even 9 months, more than that. I have to breastfeed, I have to do this. Put these things, put the thoughts into everything long term. Work your business around that and go for it.
Lovely. Basically, what she's saying, don't just operate on emotions. Plan. Be realistic and be logical. Plan. Because that sometimes that happens because we just get carried away in the moment, like, oh my God, I have this idea, I'm just gonna make it work. And then things happen and you're like, shit, I didn't prepare for that. I didn't plan for that. I didn't expect that to happen. And then you just devise from your whole business, and then boom, the business just go down. So it happens. We are at an hour, guys. This went by so fast. So it went by so fast because I feel like we still have so many more questions to ask and so many things to talk about. Jameson said here, great advice. Set goals, short term, medium, long term. Yes, set your goals. Because goals, I think once you know you have goals, it's just going to keep you focused on what you need to do next. Always going to keep you focused on what you need to do next. Everybody, man, woman, once you start a business, there will be challenges. There will be obstacles that you will have to come up and face and deal with. That's just life on the whole. Just be prepared for it. Sit, plan. It might be a very tasking project, especially like Lucky said, the daily.
A goal is a destination on a map, and if you don't know where you're going, then how are you going to get there?
Boom. Love that. Love it. Love it. So yeah, that's like my Pinterest in a way. Pin it. That was me pinning it right there. It was lovely having you, Lucky. It was lovely having you. Definitely we're gonna be working together. Gonna do some more,
No
some more
problem.
stuff. Yeah, super excited, man. Super excited.
We have to get some of the information. If you could send it to JC of how people can
of
learn
course.
more about your product and your service and what you do, and we'd like to have that.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. It was a pleasure. It was an absolute pleasure. And guys, I hope you learned something tonight. If you have any questions, I will be posting Lucky's information on the Facebook website and also on Instagram. You could go check it out so that you will be able to reach her directly and ask her any questions, especially about her fitness. And Lucky, yes, send me the link when you have a yoga. I will be there because I need to stretch these legs. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Lucky, anything you would like to say?
I just want to say thank you for having me, JC. Thank you very much. It was a privilege. It was fun. Just thank you also for being a part. I loved your questions. Thank you. And definitely to the viewers. And I know I have some, those friends who I don't want to sell drugs for them. But I know some of them are on live. And thank you very much for supporting me in whatever I am doing. I'll show up, and I appreciate it.
I learned a lot from you. It was a real pleasure meeting you.
Thank you.
All right, guys. So we will see you next Thursday. Have a good night. Bye, guys.